Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Pamela, and you are watching Pam Entertainment TV, where we review movies, television series, and incidents in pop culture to see how those incidents affect our daily lives. Listen, can y'all hear me? Are y'all able to hear me? Put a one in the chat if you're able to hear me. I'm trying out a new setup, and I want to make sure that you are able to hear me. Put a one in the chat if you're able to hear me. And then that lets me know if I'm able to go on. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, people. As you see it scrolling down on the screen, please help me get to 1,000 subscribers. I would appreciate that. Little housekeeping, please hit that like button. That's your entrance fee. Once you hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button. Once you subscribe, you'll be open to a plethora of videos that I have done, movie reviews, television series reviews, and my pop culture reviews. This is about, we gonna pregame, we gonna pregame about the Jonathan Majors interview that is gonna come up on Monday on Good Morning America. And we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna go over it. And I really want to know what you all are feeling about this interview. Because apparently it has been pre-recorded and edited and all this other stuff. If you see in the chat, I have a little let me see. Right here. Please go support Miss Cat. She is Miss Marco Polo on Twitter. She is crowd surfing to get the complete transcripts from the Jonathan Majors trial. There is the GoFundMe link. She has reviewed on her channel some of the transcripts from Grace Jabari, I think her first day, and she's going into the second day. But please support this. It's for whatever reason, the transcripts cost over $2,500. So if you crowd surf that, help her reach that goal to get those transcripts, she'll be able to dissect them like she does and get that information out. So I really, really, really want you to support that cause. Also, there are Flavio, I see you in here, my man. He has a website where he is it's a Jonathan Majors website. It has links on it about the case. It also has a link on there where you can give your best wishes to Mr. Jonathan Majors. So please support that as well. There are a couple of other What is it? I hate when I go blank. I don't know. What- Well, anyway, what it is there are change. Is it change.org? Is it change.org, y'all? Let me know. Where anyway, where they're wanting to get the magazine Dreams movie played on Netflix. There is a change.org campaign on that. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to be able to support. I want you all to make sure that you are supporting my mutuals. Kat, Danny Does Law, Dre Mack, Chillmonger, She Dreads Me, Blues House. Make sure you're supporting all of Flavio, Sousa. Make sure everybody is supporting uh, these creators, Blobette, Dr. Hines. Make sure you're all supporting these creators because they're getting the information out there about what's going on with this case that the mainstream media continues to just overlook. Just overlook. Let me see. Let me see. I want to say this interview proves that Disney wants to rehire him. So shout out to Ty Driscoll. He was here before anybody else was here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So look, I wanted to just kind of pregame this. This is like I said, is an impromptu live. I just wanted to kind of go on and just kind of get you all's feeling about what do you think about this interview? Do you think this will help him? Do you think this will hurt him? Y'all let me know. Let me see who's in the building. Hello there, Uzumaki. How are you doing today? Thank you for your support. Hello there, Flavio. How are you doing? Thank you for support. And put your information down there for the website that you have. Make sure you put it down there and I'll pin it up here so everybody can see it. Hello, Sonadek. How are you doing? How are you all doing? Here we go, Blue's house. What's up, Blue? Listen, part of this is because of you, because I watched your video and then She Dreads Me came on your video. Because one of the things that was interesting to me is when She Dreads Me put up there about that ABC is an affiliate of Disney, and which means that that's part of Marvel, which means that it is interesting that he is on this particular network to do this interview. What is going on? But the one thing that you said a few weeks ago, and you kept saying it, and it was about Marvel never really was the one to put out the a press release saying he's fired. It was what everybody else said that someone close to Marvel or an insider in there, and that stuck with me. And then now I'm seeing this interview, so I'm still trying to figure some of this stuff out. But shout out to Blue, and y'all make sure y'all follow Blue because Blue has some really great content on Marvel and other things, and I want y'all to make sure y'all support and I consider him one of my mutuals, so y'all make sure y'all support. Hello there, Life Miller. We will see. We will see. We want to be able to kind of pregame what we think this interview will be. He agreed to it. I don't know what's going on, but we will definitely see. Pamela Lamb, Pamela Lamb. I'm thinking about because you know how YouTubers have a name for their subscribers and stuff like that. I like that Pamela Lamb. My Pamela Lambs. We'll keep that one in mind. If Disney wants to recast Kane, wouldn't have they wouldn't have to set up an interview with Majors. Okay, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. So let me go over. Where is my I'm liking that. My Pamela Lambs. I'm liking that. Thank you, Son of Day. I'm liking that. I may call you my Pamela Lambs. I don't know. So we have found out that Miss Lindsay has sat down with Jonathan Majors and she's going to do an interview on Monday. And what's interesting about that is they have they have treated this interview like how content creators put different portions and things like that on different like their Instagram or their YouTube or their Twitter and stuff like that, they have treated that in this interview like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're going to see a clip on Instagram, which is going to be Good Morning America. And then you're going to see the full video on Hulu, which would be like the YouTube. And then you're going to see little bits and parts. So that's going to be on their Twitter and stuff like that. So they have basically treated this whole interview like content creators have treated this interview. So I'm interested what it is because I've watched all my mutuals talk about what they thought about this interview. Um, I know She Dreads Me has said simply that she was concerned simply because he has a sentencing going on and he didn't want this interview to mess up his sentencing. And remember, I was talking about Blue, but I had commented on his video that I thought about it, and it's like this is the time that they need to say something because what inevitably happens is that when people are quiet about what's going on, then you see folks spending 10, 20, 30 years in prison, and then all of a sudden the Innocence Project comes up, and that shout out to the Innocent Project, and then you started to hear those stories. So I'm of the belief, why not get that story out here now? Before your sentencing. I agree you shouldn't be talking about uh, F the police and F the prosecution and F the judge, because again, you're going into a sentencing. But I do think that I am hoping that this interview is about humanizing who he is. Because if you watch mainstream media, he is that big black evil black man who is a domestic violence person, and how he tried to use Darvo to silence his victim and all of these little different things. And people don't even have the full context of the story. So I would like for him to be able to humanize himself. Talk about him as a man, talk about him as an actor, talk about him as a father, talk about him as a son, talk about him as a boyfriend in a relationship, talk about how this trial affected him, talk about all of these different things, talk about his fear about calling the police, talking about how this has come to fruition. I think that those things to me will allow for him to humanize himself and stop the narrative of this big black scary black man who beat up this demure and uh, crying white woman, and for them to show the little videos, talk about how he tried to de-escalate the situation. And shout out to Lauren Victoria Burke, who did a video that outlined to me uh, ex I'm trying to get the word. I'm trying to get the word. I'm trying to get the word. But out loud, how that could help. You need to talk about how you de escalated the situation where you tried to get out of the car, where you asked the driver to stop the car, whether you tried to place her back in the car and tell her to go home, you go over here. How these, and then ultimately we see you running and why you were doing those things. Hey, I went to the hotel. I de-escalated. I went to the hotel. I did uh show, I took pictures of my injuries and the things that were happening. I saw that she was using my credit card and all this other stuff. She wouldn't let me into the home. I was locked out of my home. I couldn't get in. I see her laying out in the bathroom or the closet of the bathroom. I called the police. She looked like she was having issues and things like that. I think you should humanize that. I was the one that called the police. I was the one that called the ambulance. She appeared to be sick. This is what I saw when I came there. I think he should humanize himself in a way, uh, because I want him to get his job back. And if you humanize himself, these are issues that men, whether you're black, whether you're white, whether you're Asian, whether whatever the affliction, these are things that men go through. These are some of the things that men go through. These are some of the fears that men have. I want him to humanize himself. I know I heard I was on Twitter and I saw people talk, well, I see he's about to cry. I don't think I think he should cry. I think we should, as women, stop trying to police a man's emotions, and tie his emotions to his manhood. If he wants to cry, let him cry. If he wants to be angry, let him be angry. If he wants to be humble, let him be humble. We should see all of these emotions. Again, he should make every effort to humanize himself. And I think that an interview does this. One thing that Lauren Victoria Burke talked about is this particular interview is going to hit a certain demographic. And she showed go watch her video. She showed that like this will hit the 25 to 55 group, particularly white women and white males, and also other demographics as well. But this is a great platform for that. What Disney had to do with it, about what Disney had to do with it, I'm not really sure. Honestly, I'm not really sure. But I think that this is a platform that he can, if this interview is the way I think it is, he's going to humanize himself for this platform, and it's going to cause for ABC to have to show certain things in a different light. Also, she mentioned that she thought he should go on a YouTube page. And she mentioned Club Shay Shay, particularly off of the 19 million views of that Cat Williams interview. That on the heels of that, if he could go there, therefore he is able to speak, and there is not a lot of editing going on. Shannon didn't do a lot of editing. He allowed for his guests to speak, and that may be a platform another platform that he can use, that he can hit other demographics as well. So what are y'all thinking about all of this? What are y'all thinking? I think it's a good deal. It's like I said, he shouldn't go into this interview f the judge, f the prosecution, or anything like that. I think that going into this interview, he should tell his side of the story and stick to the March 25th, 2023 incident. Uh, if he asked that, if he's asked those questions about Coretta Scott King, he should give context. Listen, hey, we were having an argument about the fact that she came in drunk, and she came in drunk with another person, and I'm here working on a movie, and I need a certain area around me, and I need a certain person around me to keep that area kosher, sterile, or whatever it is he needed to have. I think he should give context to it. uh because like I said, he's already been convicted. He hasn't been sentenced. He's already been convicted. So I think you can give context to those certain things without, like I said, don't no F the police, no F the prosecution, no F the judge, because you're having to go into the sentencing. So let me go through here really quick. I don't want to be on here long, but I do want to see what's going on. Uh, Yeah, the Pamela. I'm like, listen, I'm loving this. The Pamelams. I really am. I'm loving this. I like everyone's perspective. I do too. Again, that shows that we're not as a group of creators, we're not a monolith. We are going to tell what we believe our perspectives are, and then just kind of go from there. I think he should. I think he should do this interview, and I think he should do one more interview. I think he should do two more interviews. He should do this interview. If Shannon Sharpe is willing to do an interview with him, I think he should do that interview. And I think because he doesn't have a social media presence or anything like that, I think he should come out with the social media presence and humanize himself. Let people get to know him in a way on social media. because like I said, I don't think that he will be the favorite in Hollywood right now. So this is a good time to take the time and do something like that. But I do want to talk about what I think the prosecution is wanting to put forth. Let me go through. Let me continue to go through, see what y'all talking about. Pat, I say exactly. I think so. I think that when because the mainstream media has failed the public, because everybody is clickbaity and they want a good headline and they don't talk about anything else, that they have failed the public to really go in and say what's going on about what this case was about. I do. He really needs to shed this abuser, because that's not what he was convicted of. The charges that would have said that he intended to harm her were, he was found not guilty. He was convicted of there was a fine and reckless, and that reckless holds up to a year in prison. So yes, he has to shed that abuser. And like I said, humanize himself. I am a son. I am a father. I am a significant other, and they can't tell you that these are the issues that I have. So he really truly needs to do that. Ain't that Wonder Woman 780? That's how I see the interview go. Him trying to humanize himself. Yeah, I just thought the gag order may still be in effect, and so he may just talk about the charges has affected his life. He may not be able to talk about the case. He's been convicted. I mean, it's he could talk about the cases if he wants to. The gag order was up until, as they went through the trial, but the trial is over with. So he has he to me, he has every right to be able to talk about this trial and to be able to talk about how this trial affected him. So people want the R. Kelly. Y'all killing me with this stuff, man. No, I don't think they should, that is salacious. People want that salacious stuff. And I think because when people have just looked at the mainstream media and how they have worked this case, that's what they're looking for, and that's what they're trying to get. Because again, the mainstream media has portrayed him as this abuser. He's this domestic violence abuser. He used Darvo tactics for A, B, C, D, E, F, G. This is the Me Too movement. He is going to be the poster child for the Me Too movement. This is how the mainstream media has pitted him. So yeah, I think that they're looking for this mess as well. Yeah. Exactly. I think that is exactly it. He has to come out because he's been quiet. Again, a lot of us who have followed Jonathan Majors from, I was first introduced to Jonathan Majors in Lovecraft Country. Once I was introduced, I found out he doesn't have social media. He doesn't, and he's made statements like that. If you followed interviews that he has done, he does not have social media. He does not use social media. I think he made a comment about that if he was going back and forth, or if he was on social media, it may have been addictive for him, and that may have costed him his craft. So he doesn't get on social media to see what's going on. But right now, social media is the place that has his back, so to speak. So mainstream media doesn't have his back, so social media. So if he, it doesn't matter which platform he decides to use. If he wants to be on IG, if he wants to be on Twitter or Threads or Facebook, it really doesn't matter. I think just a minimal social media presence, even if all he's saying is thank you to my fans who are here and who's showing support, just something like that. Hello there, Sissy Majors. How you doing? How you doing? How you and the kin folks doing? I hope you all are doing fine. I want them to show images at the party. I want them to share the night. Exactly. Because when he starts to humanize himself and talk about that, they're going to have to play the 911 call because you all will be surprised that people still believe that she was the one that called 911 on him. She's the one. You all are privy to all the informations that we have put out there about what's going on. But everyone still believes that she's the one that called 911. And if we can get a clearer picture from his POV about that night, that would be great. Because remember, all of this kicked off and started because somebody texted him. We don't know if he was cheating or not. All we know is Cleopatra said that she wished that she was kissing him right now. We don't know who that person is. We don't know anything else about that. That's what kicked all of this off. So, like I said, I would hope this interview would spend a lot of times making sure that we are humanizing who Jonathan Majors is. Exactly. Yep, he's got to talk about doing all the things he needed to do to de-escalate. That makes sense about him running away. He couldn't de-escalate in the car. He tried to de-escalate and get out of the car and tell her to go home, place her back in the car. That didn't work. They get out in the streets. She's still trying to, because if you notice, she was still trying to get to that phone. And in her testimony, she said that as well. I knew he was trying to get away from me, but I was still trying to get to that phone. I was still trying to figure out who that person was. He needs to talk about all the things he did to de-escalate that situation. Even when they got back together, once they met, what was that, Lafayette Street? Once they got there, he still tried to de-escalate. He still ran away from her. He tried to talk with her. He still ran away from her. One of the things that was poignant to me with the Chloe's testimony was the fact that she said, "I saw that he was crying, and that he's told me thank you for taking care of her." You know, those are the things we need to make sure that those are the things that get out, just humanize who he is as a person. Yes, he has emotion. He is a human being. And that to me, that is the most significant thing that needs to happen. Again, mainstream media and like I said, those people that are involved in the gender wars, they're like, he's a monster. He is this, he did this, and he did that. Humanize yourself. Show people what is King Ramunda told T'Challa, show them who you are. He needs to do that in that interview. I really do think that he needs to do that. Sissy Majors, blessings. Yes, yes, yes. My thing is, Disney wants to recast him. They're not going to set up an interview with him. Marvel is obviously still interested in keeping him as Kang. Again, I go back to Blue because we have not seen anything that said that from Marvel, like a press release or something. This has always been people close to Marvel, people close to Sing say that he's fired, people close to such. Maybe Marvel wants to take a hiatus from him right now, but other affiliates of Marvel, of Disney, may be willing to take a chance for him. And you remember, still, he still has that Magazine Dreams movie that is supposed to come out. So maybe this is an opportunity to see or to test the waters to see what people are thinking about this. Because I do understand, and I have watched Twitter. I do the hashtag Jonathan Majors and look through that hashtag, and it is amazing to see when all of this happened and you clicked on that hashtag, how everybody was talking about, oh, he is a monster, he is this, he is that. And then slowly, as information trickled out that what was going on, particularly between uh April and June, information that was trickling out, in regards to what was going on, the factual, actual information that was trickling out, you start to see a little turn. You start to see a turn because now people are not believing in or investing in the headlines. They are looking at what is the actual information that's going on. What is the actual information that's going on? You know, where did she get this injury? Because I know that the jury asked for Chloe's testimony about her about Grace Jabari complaining about her finger hurt in the club. But my supposition is she could have hurt her finger in the club. She could have done something, hit something in the club, and said, "Hey, I hurt my finger. Can I get some ice?" That doesn't necessarily mean that that happened in that incident. It could have happened in the club because we did see a video. Uh, what was it, June, July, where she was dancing and doing all the stuff, and she hit her head on the DJ booth. We did see that video of that. What's to say that she didn't hit anything else outside of the club? Because we do know that when she was on Lafayette Street with Chloe and the Funky Bunch, she wasn't injured. She did not have a cut around her head. She didn't have a cut around her ear because there was no semblance of blood in around thing. We do see her finger, and she's using the dexterity of that finger. Uh, we do know that that finger was injured to the point that it was considered to be broken. There was a hairline fracture. And if anybody has ever hurt a digit, broken a finger, or anything like that, I don't care what you're doing. I don't care how drunk you are. You will register that pain. One more again, because I know people are slow in the back. It doesn't matter. You're going to register that pain. Even if you do something like this, damn, my hand hurts, or, ask for something or look at it, you're going to register that pain. When you are tying your hair back, ladies, you understand all the fingers that you have to use. And if she used that middle finger to tie her hair back and do that, that finger is broken, baby, you're going to register that pain. And what I mean by that is you're tying, you're going to be doing something like that. Like, damn, ouch. You're going to register that pain. And it doesn't matter if you're sober. It doesn't matter if you're drunk. It doesn't matter if you're high. You're going to register the pain. Now, you may deal with the pain, but you're going to register that pain. You tying your hair up like that, that was going to register the pain. There was no way she wasn't registering that pain. And also in that Lafayette video, if you all remember, Chloe grabbed her hand to hold her back when Jonathan Majors came back. She didn't register the pain. She was flicking her hand and doing all those things like that. We would have seen her register that pain. So my supposition, like I said, the jury has decided what they've decided, but I think she hurt her finger while she was in that club. I mean, they didn't even want to talk about the fact that she hit the wall the way she hit the wall. They didn't want to talk about that. They didn't want to talk about the fact that she was in the club dancing and doing all kinds of stuff. They didn't want to talk about those things. But like I said, the jury has spoken. He has a violation and a misdemeanor on his record. So, but I just wanted to put that information out. We didn't even get the text message. You remember when Priya Chaudhry put that first text message out, and there was supposed to be these 34 text messages that she sent to Jonathan Majors? That is this interview is a perfect time to get those text messages out. I hope he has his phone. What did she say? Interesting. Hey, Keita. How you doing? How you doing? Marquis Simmons. Marvel should give this man his job back already. And I think that's what they are doing. I think a lot of people are interested in that. They're interested in seeing and interested in this because, like I said, She Dresme pointed out a very big, poignant part about ABC is an affiliate of Disney, and this is where he does his interview, but they had fired him and all these little different things. So there's something swirling, whether it's something that we believe is swirling or not. There's something swirling. And I think that Marvel is looking at the fact that This Kang, this multiverse and this Kang to them is very, very important. And so I think that they're testing the waters to see what kind of response that they're going to get for this interview. And that's another point. Once he has this interview, I need for y'all to flood that hashtag, that Jonathan Majors hashtag, and put your support behind it. Whatever it is, put your supporter behind it. Once this goes, you know, hashtag ABC, hashtag Disney, hashtag Marvel, you know, put those hashtags and put your support behind it. Exactly. Be loud and proud. Be loud. Be extremely loud. Let's see what's going on. Oh, look at the hearts. Thank you, Miss Sissy. Ultimately, many people have made up their minds about him filtered through their own biases. True. Monday is about reminding people that he's a human being and that has dreams and worked hard to get where he's at. Facts. Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is why I don't buy into number one, these gender wars. And this is why I don't buy into this cancel culture, because this mess will get people out of jobs. And I mean, I understand and I know there are people out here, they could be racist, they could be prejudiced, they could be biased, they could be all spectrums of what you say, right? But I was taught, and I believe that people can have a redemption story. People can redeem from the stuff that they do. And when we apply this cancel culture, we throw folks away. And a lot of times, we as a culture, a complete culture, should be have more grace about all of that. No Club Shay Shay. I'm not a fan of the demographic. It's not polished. He should go to Roland Martin instead. I mean, what I'm looking at is he needs to hit all the demographics. You know, Club Shay Shay deals with the demographic of masculine men, all of those different things. He should hit that demographic. You know, he should hit Roland Martin because Roland Martin he's more political. He has social. He should hit those demographics. I think wherever he can, whatever platform that he can go in that can humanize him on different aspects of the thing, he should go. I think he should go. I, you know, I mean, what could it hurt? What could it hurt? Because the ultimate goal is for him, he has worked hard to be an actor. He has gone to the North Carolina School of Arts, he has gone to Yale. This is what he needs to do. If he needs to hit and hit those demographics, he needs to hit every demographic he can hit. I don't think Kang is being recast. Coleman Domingo said he hasn't heard anything from Marvel. No one has reached out. Interesting. Is he not being recast? Is he still cast in the thing? Or is Marvel unsure about what they're doing? Because Marvel needs to get it together. They truly need to get together. They let them $1 billion get to their head. They really, truly need to get together. And that's another video. I think it's a rumor dungeon. Okay. Blue's house, let's hope so. This part. You know, exactly. He needs to be able to get his story out and do what he needs to do. And that's what he needs to do. He really truly needs to get his story out. Uh-oh, I done lost my face. Definitely Club Shay Shay because it will get a lot of viewers, and that's what we need. True. I mean, because I'd go back and check, but the last time I checked, that Cat Williams video was at 19 million. All he needs is a strong 4 or 5 million people to look at that video. All he needs is a good, strong from that particular demographic of Club Shay Shay. All he needs from Roland Martin is a good 3 or 4, uh, I would say 300 to 400,000 to 1 million views from there. That's a whole separate demographic. All he would need from Good Morning America is a good million, a million and a half. That's another demographic. And then those that so let's look at, let's say, 6 million people will influence another 6 million people to look at this case and see that's 12 million people. That's 12 million people. Like I said, make sure y'all are flooding that hashtag. Make sure y'all are flooding that hashtag Jonathan Major. This is a corporate white collar industry. Exactly. Because that's the industry that he's in. You have corporate people that want to know that they will put him in a movie and that movie will sell. And so this interview is a litmus test for that. Joe Rogan podcast. Hmm. I know Joe Rogan's podcast. I'm not as familiar with Joe Rogan's podcast. I do know a certain demographic that Joe Rogan works with, but yeah, let's see. Let's see. I disagree with Club Shay Shay. It doesn't align with him or his image. I think Roland Martin is much more respected in the black community. It would get views. I don't want to see him on some couch. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Majors got caught cheating and the fallout was public. He didn't beat up or assault anyone. He got charged with trying to put her in the car when she wanted to fight. Because like I said, all we know is that he got a text. We don't know if the person who he texts with he was receiving. We don't know anything like that. She saw the text. And shout out to Danny. There's a video that Danny did where she kept saying, I'm showing y'all my dirty Escalade, but her Escalade was clean. It was fine. But she was showing the inside of the Escalade, and that made me question a little bit more. Were you seated in this Escalade that you saw all of this stuff? Because she was like, "Oh, I was just leaning to the side." And like I said, go check out Kat, go support her and get this the transcript. But now it doesn't make any sense to me. That means that you weren't in your seat. You weren't in a seatbelt. You were just leaning because the way Danny's car is, it's a Cadillac Escalade. So you were leaning way over here to look at this text, or I'm all confusion right now. Were you not in your seat? What was I'm all confusion right now because I'm like that doesn't even make any sense. The inches that you had separated from you, that would mean you'd have to lean real far to do this. And Danny was very precise to show us the distance in a Cadillac Escalade from the ground up. And remember how the prosecution was saying like he was on his tippy toes? Well, he would have had to been because in order to pick up somebody and do something, that's a child. Go check out that video. Go check out that video. It doesn't fit him. No social media presence. It doesn't fit him, and it doesn't because he made it very very clear that the social media presence wasn't something that he did. But right now it's something that he needs. He needs to get into. He needs to make sure that he has a social media presence. He needs the corporate interview Democrat first. It gives credibility in the same too. Okay. That's interesting. I had forgotten that he was on the Higher Learning podcast. That would be a good place. I don't know if Higher Learning would be willing to do an exclusive interview like that. They usually deal with they do interviews, don't get me wrong. I don't know if they would be in the business of rehabbing um someone's reputation. That kind of thing. But that's a good thing, but I'm not sure. Okay. Okay. You all believe that that's a safe space. I'm just trying to be curious if that's a platform that would allow for rehabilitation. I know they talk about, social issues and political issues and stuff like that. Excuse me. I don't know if they're going to be willing to be a rehab place, but I'm not against it. That would be great. I think if he'd hit a large platform, or the people that did support him, I think that that would be great. Exactly, because that was a thing, and I don't think that uh, higher learning would be willing to do that. Shannon Sharp's interview style is he allows for them to say what he has a list of questions, and then he allows for them to expound without, cutting them off and wanting to get that I gotcha moment. So that was one of the reasons why I agreed with Lauren Victoria Burke that yeah, that would be a place because he can then be able to kind of control the narrative in a sense and give all the information out from his perspective and it not be downplayed. Yeah, it is a great shout out. Let's see. All right. I want to make sure that I'm getting all of you all thing. I think I saw a super chat, but I can't find it. Here it is. Here it is. Thank you, sister, for the 9.99. Thank you so much for and thank you for coming back and supporting us and stuff like that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the 9.99 super chat. I appreciate it. Yeah. Y'all watch that. Go over with Kat because she is taking those transcripts and she is dissecting it. And it is it. And shout out to Danny because Danny went out to that courtroom and those transcripts are confirming what Danny told us. Not that we thought that Danny was lying, but those things are confirming what Danny said, and it's making mainstream media look a little foolish. She's going through those transcripts and the contradictions and how she is speaking. I don't know if I can find this tweet, but I was on let me see if I can find it real quick, y'all. Hold up. I was on X, Twitter. I don't know exactly what they call it, y'all. But there was a man on there that was talking about narcissists. And I don't have I don't have the bank of knowledge on that, but he was talking, let me see. I think this is him, and I'll share it with him. His name is Lonzo on X at It Takes a Wolf. And he talked about because the question that I asked y'all, the question that I asked was, I was I don't know how I entered that conversation, but my question was, she spent a lot of time talking to people that were not her quote unquote besties. And I couldn't understand, you have a sibling that lives in New York, you have a quote unquote manager that lives in New York, but you made calls to someone that couldn't come to quote unquote rescue you from what you said that is your that is your issue. And I couldn't understand that, but he went to talk about uh oh, because I couldn't understand why was she talking to Priya S about what was going on with Jonathan Majors, but she didn't talk to anybody in her circle. She didn't talk to her folks. She didn't talk to her sister. She didn't talk to her manager. She didn't talk to anybody in her things. And he talked about, I said, why would he talk about the people? I said, it seems like she was trying to sabotage his relationships with women in his circle. And shout out to Lonzo. He said, well, that's the workings of a narcissist. They will make sure that they sabotage your stuff. So everybody starts looking, all your friends and family and things like that start looking at you crazy. But they're going to keep their relationships, in other words, intact. And I'm not calling now, don't get me wrong, I'm not calling her a narcissist. I don't have the degree to diagnose her with anything. I am not saying any of those things. But those are questions that are sparked by when Kat goes over these transcripts because some things don't make any sense. And I think when she talked about going to Glastonbury and how he was upset, we didn't realize there were some issues and problems going over there, and he was trying to make sure that she was safe. And she made it seem like, oh, I don't understand why he's worried about, anything like that. It wasn't that serious. And I wish those types of questions would have been asked to her to put that information in place. But anyway, like I said, the trial is over. But I, you start. I'm really wanting you all to make sure you all support Kat. If you can give $2, $3, $5, whatever it is, if you all can support so we can get those transcripts and she will share them with the daggone world. Thanks, Pam. You're welcome. What's up, chat? Am I back up to the top? I need to get down. Let's see. So, no to higher learning. If y'all haven't seen what he said about JM, okay, okay. Because I didn't, I've been watching. I think when the verdict came in, I just don't think that particular platform would allow for him to go into much detail. I don't know, and I could be wrong. Van and Lindsay may do Rachel Lynn Lindsay. I think that's what it is. I'm not sure. Yeah, okay. The younger demographic, yeah, yeah. I think yeah, because they do hit that. They do hit that demographic. I wouldn't the Breakfast Club and all that other stuff. I wouldn't even worry about those people because I don't think that they have an interest. They're clickbaity like anybody else. I don't think that they would have interest in that. Who is siding hard? Is this the higher learning people? Let's see what this says. Yeah, it is. But that's why I want him to curate where he goes. Because he doesn't have to have a social media presence at all. He can continue to stay the way he is, but he can definitely curate where he's going to go to be able to get his story out. Yes. Right. 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 He's not a social media person, but if he does, I only want to see dog photos and workout tips. That's it. Stay low key. Yeah, that's cool. Again, that humanizes him. I think that humanizes him with the sparse little pic of his family, with the sparse little pic of him with Megan, very sparse, but just sticking out with the workout and the dog photos. I don't know if he trains dogs or not, but those types of things that will human because people love a man who can take care of a dog. I'm just telling you right now, folks love a dog person and a very proactive dog person. So if he can stick to something like that, that be that really tight niche, I think that would help for him. Let me just continue to go through here because I want to talk about my last point. What do you all think in the comments? Good evening, good evening, good evening. What do you all think about what do you all think about the sentencing process? What do you all think that the prosecution is going to ask for? Because this particular charge, because like I said, he was charged with two charges. One is a fine, so he'll probably pay $300, $400, $500 fine. But the other one has a limit up to a year in jail. What do you all think that the prosecution is going to be asking for? Hey there, hey there, hey there. What do you all think the prosecution is going to be asking for? Because I remember I told you I thought they were going to split the baby. With the jury was going to split the baby and they were going to give him the lesser charges, and that's what they did. But let me tell you what my thought process is. I think the prosecution is going to ask for the max. They're going to ask for him to spend a year in jail, watch my thought process. We have learned through Dre Mack, we have learned through Chill and all this other stuff that that particular office has a certain agenda, and they have uh, uh they are they are charging through and trying to make sure their base, white women and very rich white men, he is trying to get to that particular base. He's trying to make sure that, that base has he's showing that he is tough on crime with that base. I think he is going to ask his ADAs to shoot for the max. Now, will the judge do that? I don't know, because of the fact this is a first offense. He has done everything that the judges has told him, in regards to the restraining orders, showing up in court, doing everything that the judges have asked him to do. Right? I think that they're going to ask for I think that they're going to ask for the max, and I think that the judge is going to meet them, in a sense, maybe give him probation, with community service, with anger management. I also think they may even try it with 30 days or 60 days in jail. I think that they're gonna try it. I think that they're gonna try it. Hopefully that Priya and their team can outline what this man has, who he has to take care of, how that will mess up his bag and all of these little different things. But I do think the prosecution is going to try it for those set reasons. I really do think that they're going to try it for those set reasons. And that's my opinion. What are y'all thinking? Let me see. Let me see. Let me get through here. Let's see. I think the prosecution, uh, listen, they're sitting back in their office like a win is a win. We didn't get what we didn't get the max, but a win is a win. And I think that they're going to try to ask for the max. I am curious as what this judge is going to do, but I think that they're going to ask for the max. Sissy says probation. The DA and the prosecutor didn't go for jail time. I think that they're going to go for jail time. First time offenders get no time, but they'll push for it. Okay, okay. I'm encouraged by that. I am encouraged by that. With him being a first time offender, with this charge and everything like that, I am encouraged by that. But y'all, I think that prosecution is about to try it. He doesn't have a criminal record, so he should get probation. I agree. I'm telling you, I agree with that. But it's something about this prosecution office. They are going to try it. Yeah, they're gonna try it. I just it's something in there. They're gonna try it. What you saying, right? It's normally 6 months probation and anger management. Okay, okay, okay. Because that will keep him employed, and that will show that he is oh, what's the word? What's the word that he is working towards? What is the word, y'all? I have just blanked on that word. He's working towards da da da, whatever that word is. The judge will probably go for a long probation and a bunch of conditions, community service. Yeah, that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting. And what will be interesting too is because uh we know that the quote unquote theater community is supposed to be opposed to him. I'm interested to see what will happen in regards to, because we know that Mr. Barry goes back from New York to London, New York and London, and he will be in New York and London, particularly if he's working for Marvel or wherever he's working. Because she's going to be in the same field that he's in. I wonder how that is going to work out. I'm hoping for the best, expecting the worst, because woo child. Well, A year in jail for hurting a finger on accident is an overreach. I agree. I absolutely agree. But the way that they have worked this trial, I expected for them to be going on there. I expect them to go into trial and talk about how he is a menace to society. You hear me? I just expect it. Normally, yeah. Probably, probably, probably. Because this for him is he's showing his the base that he wants to curate, that this is he's tough on crime. Blue, you are now my sensei. Because listen, because what's interesting to me, and I think I said it before, what reason why I didn't think Marvel wanted to say much, because at the end of the day, both of these people were employees, and that since Jonathan Majors was 1 through 5 of the call sheet, that puts him in a supervisory role in regards to the workplace. And this is contend to this could spiral into workplace harassment and all this other stuff. I'm thinking that they're being very quiet about that. However, she is looking kind of like a liability, because now we kind of see, because I heard somebody say something about they thought that she was a plant and all this other stuff. I don't know how you all feel about that. I don't have the bandwidth to go through all of that stuff. However, she is going to look like she is an opportunist, particularly from this incident. And people may or may not be weary. Will she have work? She probably will. I think that she'll work all day long over there in London. Not really sure how she's going to make that switch over to America, where she's been trying to get to. And shout out again to Danny Does Law, because she did mention something about this type of prosecution and conviction for her helps her get a visa and all this other stuff. But I'm not sure how this is going to work out for her into going into different things, because now people are going to be wary, and there's going to be a new term. Don't mess around and get jabaried out here, for you young men are out here that are thinking about uh, bringing women into your life, and for you young women thinking bringing men into your life, and you don't. When you understand that you and that person is not compatible, you'll mess around and get jabaried out here. That's going to be her new. That's going to possibly be a new term for her. Mm. Uh-oh, I saw you, Uzi. She probably was. She probably was. I would be interested to see what was. I would be interested to hear if there are employees, because wasn't it the makeup artist that introduced them? I would be interested to see uh what was going on within that situation. Exactly. 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 He is going to try to make sure that he can strut like a peacock behind this. Even though it is a misdemeanor, I want you all to be very clear. Even though it is a misdemeanor, he's looking at this as a win, is a win, is a win. So I'm telling you, I think that they're going to go for the max. But I like I said, I'm going to be up. That's right. It's going to be a new term for y'all. Don't mess around here and get Jabari. When you realize that you were in a toxic, and so this is my advice, because I do these pop culture chat so that we can figure out how that it affects our daily lives. When you all realize that you are in a situation that is not going to serve you. You need to figure out how to get out of that relationship and not continue it, because he realized that that relationship was not serving him. It wasn't going to be healthy. It wasn't going to be healthy for him. And but instead of figuring out how to release that relationship, folks get lonely. I'm quite sure he was over there in London. He was doing his work and he got lonely, and she was giving him she was there. But even all those situations was going on, it's okay. Let me tell y'all this, and I'm gonna be very, very clear. There's a big difference between being lonely and being alone. There is nothing wrong with being alone if you have things that are going to fulfill your life. You follow the things, your hopes and dreams, and things that you like to do. When you feel lonely, that's when you get caught up. And you need to figure out how to balance that. I'm quite sure he was over there, he didn't know nobody, and she was there, and he didn't, the loneliness went away, but look at the headache that caused him. He done lost about $15 million. You don't get Jabari, child. Don't do it. She'll chase you. That's right. Don't get Jabari. She'll chase you. She sure will. What if Rachel Barr gets arrested in London investigation on previous incidents? Because we don't even know what that is. The texts do not give us enough context to figure it out. Because remember, in her own words, she said that he never touched her. He got upset and threw things and all this other stuff, but he never touched her. So we don't know what that incident was. Did she go to the hospital? We don't know what happened. Move over, Karen Ejamara. He was scared to leave her. It's hard to break up with an abuser. They don't make it easy. True. True. I would tell you true. And that is why, again, that is why you have to curate folks around you. He seems like an introvert. Hey, I understand that. I'm an introvert too. But I had to learn in my years to curate people around me, that when I can't see the forest for the trees, that I curated enough people around me to tell me, Pammy, I need for you to sit your tail down, because this is what's going on and this is what's happening. He needs to curate those folks. And that's just real. He needs to curate those folks. We still getting ahead of the appeal process. Has he appealed? I think he should. I think he should appeal, because there's a lot of stuff going on in this courtroom that didn't make sense. Because wasn't the Trump trial televised in New York? Y'all put that down in here and I'm gonna go through there. Wasn't the Trump trial televised? Because I believe that if that court hearing was televised, I do think that there would have been um the public would have had more information going on. Here she is, y'all. Hey, Kat, here she is. Make sure you all, if you can, help her get those crowd surf with her and help her, because I put it in the chat. I'll pull it up again. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Here it is. Please go support her, because she's outlining and going through that information like no other. Y'all, please go support her. All right. Don't you be out here messing. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. You just Jonathan Majors is going to get destroyed on Good Going in America. I know he saw what they did to Nate Parker. I think he has terrible counsel, because this is a stupid idea. Okay. 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 I think I think I like I said, it's done. And this the book is and it's coming out. Like I said, we're gonna watch it. I think it comes on maybe like 7 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time. That's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm in Central Standard Time. That's it. I'm gonna be up. I'm gonna watch it. I'm going to see. But like I said, he has different avenues in which he can do it, which he can go. Like I said, this is supposed to rehab his image in corporate America, so they will buy into buying with him. So I'm hoping in this interview that he spends a lot of time humanizing himself. Do you think? Do, do y'all think he'll tell us what the text messages meant in context? I mean, what do you have to lose? Just be truthful about it. I mean, it's over and done with. They've already convicted you of the lesser charges. I don't see where it will hurt unless it may hurt if he decides that he wants to get if he wants to do an appeal or whatever. Or if he wants to if he want maybe in the sentencing. But I just believe at this point that uh the prosecution is going to be pushing for the max. So I mean, what do you you've already been convicted. They can't go back and then try to reconvict you for anything. So if it's something that he wants to do, then I don't know. I don't know. I My whole point is I hope he takes the time to humanize himself as a man, as a son, as a father, as a boyfriend. And okay, so this is the gossipy part of me. This is that side of me. But did I see a little gold band on his hand in that little clip of the interview with Miss Lindsay? Did I see him with the gold band? Because I remember Dennis Byron put out a couple of months ago, congratulations, Megan Majors. But did I see a gold band? What's really going on? Now that's the socially gossipy part of me, and I'm gonna leave that alone. But I did see that, so I'm gonna let that go. Well, the Nate Parker thing was live with Gail. I have decided to go back on that because I remember it, but I didn't have all the details. And I may do a video in regards to that because the brief stuff that I had, I just thought that was just sour because you have a man that has been acquitted of a crime, and the woman who accused him of that crime committed suicide. And then that's 3 or 4 years before you come out and you do this your acting and directorial debut. I think that was very, very foul. I really do think that was foul because if you've been proven innocent, you've been proven innocent. And why are you making this person responsible for the actions or the pruning from the timeline that this woman did? Why are you making him responsible for that? And why are you trying to hold him responsible for that? He did justice was he went through the court of law, he fought his case and he won. Whatever happened after that is not his responsibility. I thought that was very, very foul. Very, very foul. I didn't, like I said, I didn't watch the movie and I didn't follow that, but I remember it going up, and I may have to go do a little deep dive on that to figure out what was going on. I don't agree. I think he should get his side of the story out to at least try to change the narrative. Exactly. He's got to get this domestic violence abuser stain off of him because that's not what he was ultimately charged convicted of. Ah! Jabroni phone is wild. Woo! but it was right hand. Okay, okay, okay. I'm sorry, man, but I let that social gossipy part of me just like I have to tamper that down. I feel like my platform is, I'm supposed to be more responsible and not fall into all of that. But I saw it. I'm just telling you, I saw it. I can't get rid of it. But I saw it. The people that destroyed you will never build you back up. I think he should appeal the case and fix his public image by trying to get to work and doing some small interviews. Fair, fair. Hey, I'm being I have to tamper that down. I do. I do. I have to tamper that down. Disgrace the bro. Gail didn't, and let's listen. And that's going to be another video of mine that I'm going to talk about. She didn't even have asked those questions. He didn't even want to talk about it. And that is where it's very, very important that you have a team that even when she put that out there, you should hear your team in the back room saying, "Hey, we told you not to ask those doggone questions because he has been acquitted of that crime." And that should have popped out of there real quick because, like I said, everybody wants their clickbaity type of moment, and I think that those things cut to Robert Roberts that those things should be tampered down. Thank you. Get those likes up. Let's see. There's about 40 people in here. I should have 40 likes before I end this live stream. 40 likes before I end this live stream. But now in GMA, I think Club Shay Shay would offer better after the numbers came. Yeah, I am okay with the Roland Martin. I am okay with Club Shay Shay. He agreed to GMA, so we're gonna see what that happened. And the reason why I'm okay with those with Club Shay Shay and why I'm okay with Roland Martin, because again, they're different demographics. Again, GMA is giving him the demographic from, like I said, they have a 25 to 55 white women, white men audience. Club Shay Shay to me has a demographic mostly of black males. Uh, I think that Roland Martin has a demographic of people who are socially and politically who think forward like that. So you're hitting all these demographics. Because if you hit that Roland Martin demographic, uh you hit that Club Shay Shay demographic, and then like I said, you support Cat and we can get this stuff out, and then you start showing them the transcripts of stuff. Like I said, and I commented on Blue's thing, if we can get this information out now and not wait for them to have been sentenced and they spend a year, 6 months, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and then the innocent project gets with them, and then you start seeing the facts. If we can get that stuff out at the beginning, I think that would move things forward so that we can show that, hey, the fix was on. You did you not see it? The fix was on. And I think that this, whatever demographic we can get him out, that he can humanize himself as a man, as a son, as a father, as a significant other, humanize him in those areas. As a worker, he works at, he's good at his craft. Whichever demographic we can get that information out, that's fine. Like I said, he don't need to be out here talking about F the prosecution, F the judge, F the police, or anything like that, because he will be sentenced. But I do think it doesn't matter, because I think that the prosecution is going to ask for the max. That's my opinion. They're going to ask for the max. Will they get the max? That depends on whether or not Judge Gaffey took his X-Lax pill or not. We saw that too. Didn't know. I mean, I knew she existed, this person, but I didn't know that she was managed by her as well until I saw when I looked, yeah, I looked on her roster. I'm messy too. Was that the same person? Because I don't, I never thought that it was Megan Good that he was text that sent that text. I never thought that it was Megan Good. I never thought that it was her. But mm. And you see, she hadn't said nothing either. So I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna let that go. I saw that. I saw that. And this is what I will say. It's gonna take y'all black men to sit down and talk to their brother. Okay. Because that's all I'm gonna say about that. I saw that mess. And it was just like, huh? For real? Okay. That's where y'all as black men got to go and talk to that brother right there. All right, we're gonna move on. Dennis Byron said he was. Like I said, and like I said, when I added him, and I text, I wanted clarification. He never did say. He just said congratulations, and that was the end of it. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. We just gonna have to let that. I'm gonna let that slide. My little messy self. I'm gonna tamper that down. I'm trying to be, you know, stop it. I'm gonna keep who I am. I told you all that I am authentically who I am, and you all will see this on my page. The stuff that I like, the stuff that I dislike, I'm gonna be authentically. So the messy part of me, I let y'all see that, and we're gonna keep it moving. The only way to clear is, I think he should appeal it. He has, to me, uh, avenues of appeal because number one, I'm trying to figure out in all the court hearings and the court filings that I have seen and been involved with, I have never seen it to where that the police body cam audio was not allowed in the court because we needed to hear that. I think if people would have heard that, I think that and Dre, I agree with you right here. I think if the jurors would have heard that audio, particularly about this right here and what that meant and what they were talking and asking about, they would have had more questions. Uh, 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 it would have started to make a little bit more sense because it makes no sense that someone calls the ambulance because you are splayed out in the closet, but 15 minutes ago you were still talking to your friend, and you hear this man banging on his front door for 30-40 minutes, and you hear him and you make little statements about he's going to trip over a suitcase, and you hear him and all this other stuff what you're texting. And that to me kind of pushes into where remember I was talking earlier about the guy that was talking about being a narcissist and all this other stuff. All that stuff starts to piece itself to me, it starts to piece itself together. I didn't have the words because, like I said, I don't have, my degree it wasn't high enough for me to be diagnosing nobody, but it starts to make a little sense. Priya S is real pretty. Has me thinking Jabroni was just wanted to make sure Priya wouldn't try to snatch her man. Maybe, but I am still trying to figure out. This woman had a set of friends. And ladies in the chat, y'all let me know because maybe I'm thinking crazy. But when you have your friends and you have your good girlfriends, your good Judies, whatever you call them, and when you're going through a situation, you call them, you talk to them. Why is she talking to everybody else but her friends? That has boggled my mind. forever. That has boggled my mind. You're talking to Priya as this is his manager. Why are you talking and camaraderie with her? Why do you have access to her? That's my whole question. Why do you have access to her? She has nothing to do with you. She is that man's manager trying to make sure he gets the roles and the things that he needs to do. Why are you having a conversation with her about that? Why are you not talking to your girlfriends or your friends or whoever it was? You're never talking to anybody that's supposed to be so close to you. You're texting this woman in London, and this woman says that she works with you and she's friendly with you because she looked at your calls and she didn't even think that there was something into it because, like I say, you all weren't that close. But the number of calls that you did for her or text made her sit down and call you back. But you got a whole sibling that lives in the city that you live. You got a whole manager, agent, whatever he was, that lives in the city with you. You have several dancer friends and things like that that live in that city in New York City. You don't call them. You call a woman way over here in London that can't do anything for you. But you got a sibling that could pull up for you, but you don't call them. You got friends that if all of these things are going on, you don't call them. So yes, I think that there is an appeal. We just have to, I think it is. Oh, y'all are having conversations. Almost skirt through all of this and see, yeah, the white Jew Hollies will never work with him again. To them, he beat a white woman every day they were together. Oh, he's going to jail, trust me. I think that money talks because let's be very, very clear. RDJ spent what, almost 3 years in jail, in prison for brandishing a gun, being caught naked in somebody's bed, and all those little different things. And the money that he made with Marvel, money talks, BS walks, money talks. And if they can show, if he can get this magazine Dreams out, and people will support it, they'll work with him again. They'll work with him again, child. They truly, truly will. Someone said that I don't know if it was Danny. I don't remember who said it. Was it She Dragged Me? But someone said that they are not of the demographic. So like Gail and Robin is in my age group. And they're not going to be in the demographic of, I think he's like a millennial. They're not in that demographic, so they're more so concerned about this moral majority type stuff. I don't think that I don't think that that would have been great because we saw how Gail and Robert went, and that wasn't that didn't go well. Please hit that like us this exactly. Release that audio because when you hear that audio, when we hear that audio and what they were saying, I still can't figure out why they didn't release that audio. They need to release that audio. They truly, truly do. All right, people. We've been on here in almost an hour and 30 minutes. What's this? And that's fine. I'm fine with that. But I do want to make sure that y'all are hitting that like button. I want to make sure that y'all are hitting that like button. All right. I really do appreciate y'all being here. Her sister didn't want to deal with Grace's BS. I think her family knows she's an alcoholic busybody. This is probably not the first type of thing she has done. Because, like I said, I know that I think Priya didn't take her Adderall that day. That's just me. That ADHD will get you caught up. But I do think you are right, because when she mentioned the other boyfriend that committed suicide, and we see that Jonathan Majors has had some issues and stuff like that, where he was suicidal, and then she threatened suicide, because that's what he put on the 911 call. So we do see that there's some issues with mental health with these two people, I think. Um and I think that she has done this before. I think, because people kikied and ha-ha, and like I said, they kiki and ha-ha about that Coretta Scott King stuff. Everybody heard that, but they missed over the fact when he said, you disrupted the peace because you came in here drunk and you brought somebody else in here drunk. They conveniently uh pulled over that he also did that as well. Exactly. Oh, my life. Exactly. All right, people. I appreciate y'all joining me on my little impromptu live. We have done an hour and 30 minutes. And hey, chill, you came in. They're pretending she's flawless. Yeah. Yeah. She's just, she seems like the party girl that wants to be able to do what she wants to do when she wants to do it, and anytime that she liked the lifestyle, because again, he wined and dined her, he went to Maui with her, he did all of those different things, and that's what she liked and that's what she was expecting. And when he started putting forth that, hey, to keep this up, I need for you to help me do some certain things, and we have a plan and all those different things, she was like, hold up. I don't know if I'm, if I want to do all of that. And it just, like I said, they were two people that were not conducive to be together, and we see the problems that reap. So like I said, ladies and gentlemen, learn your people. Learn them, because people can't fool you for long. They'll fool you for a little while, but they can't fool you for long. And when you see that you're in a relationship that doesn't serve you, because you should have your standards, you should have your morals, you should have your values, and you should have your standards. When someone does not meet those things, then you need to make an effort to 86 them. Get them out, let them go. And there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. Understand what that difference is. There is no condemnation about being alone. Okay? There's none. Don't let nobody fool you. If you're feeling lonely, it is your responsibility to curate the people around you so that lessens. All right? Child, no, she didn't. And now that I'm thinking about it, the messy side of Pam has come back up again. And now that I think about it, that's probably why she was talking to Priya S like she was talking, because she was really trying to figure out who it is and what it is. Because I think she probably knew something, but she didn't know everything. That's why she was talking to Priya S. I'm gonna let my messy side go, but don't get out here and be Jabari, y'all. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let me see this last comment, and then I'm gonna go on and go. Pam, he was stuck. Let me tell you this, and my women folk gonna get mad at me, so I'm just gonna give you a little nugget, young men. When you have a woman like this, you do not break up with her in text. You break up with her in public. One more again, because I know the folks in the back don't hear you. You don't break up with her in text, because when you do it in text, it's not real. You break up with her in public. You make sure, numero uno, that whoever she considers to be a friend, a confidant, or whoever it is, one or two people, family, doesn't matter who it is. You ain't got to be throwing things, any violent things like that. But you can make a public assertion to say, look, so and so, this is not going to work. You have done A, B, C, D, whatever it is to me, and I no longer want to be involved with you. I no longer want to do with this because it's very clear. When you break up with a woman in public around the people who she holds dear or she respects, those people are going to hear that, and she has no way to be able to circle back around and try to say, he didn't break up with me. That's not what he meant. Texas do that. You break up with women who you believe are volatile like this. You break up with them in public. That's my public service announcement to you young men. All right? Yes, ma'am. If you say I broke the girl code, I broke the girl code, because you all will get out of a lot of situations understanding that. So if you got to take her and her family to dinner and break up with her, baby, that's money well spent. Money well spent. Exactly. Don't move them in. Sorry. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because once you move them in, they're like roaches. They'll never leave. You got to bomb the whole place in order to get them to leave. That's just a public service announcement. If I broke the girl code, oh well. Because I'm not into these gender wars. He should have pulled a Tiger Woods. Tell her we going on a trip and whoo, whoo, child. Tiger did that. That must have been with his last girlfriend. Wasn't this the girlfriend that he was suing? Child, a mess. A mess. The man, Jonathan Major is strong, great. All of them. Marvel, Disney, they programmed things with him over several years. This is a disaster for them. In the end, they will have to polish his shoes. Mm, okay. 100. I'm just telling y'all, that's just my public service announcements for you young men. You break up with women like this in public. You just do. You don't break up with them by text. You don't ghost them. You don't do none of that, because see, it's not real to them. It's not real. Because see, they can't go back and tell mama and them he don't mean it. Mama and them gonna tell him, baby, he told you to kick rocks. They can't do that with the girlfriend, baby. He told you to kick rocks. And you need to leave that man alone. So when you get these volatile type women, you break up with them in public. And that's all my public service announcement that I'm going to give you all for that. All right, people, let me tell y'all, we do this every week. We do this every week. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Please help me get to 1,000. I have all the hours that I need from you all watching my videos. I just need for you all to subscribe. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you that subscribe. I appreciate all of you that are in here listening to me in this live. Again, I started my channel to do consistency, to be consistent and not procrastinate, particularly after my father died. And I am so grateful that you all come to listen to me be authentically me. All right. Please tell a kin, tell that coworker, tell your family member, tell that heifer that you cannot stand that I'm over here making these videos. And as always, people, bye-bye.